Okay, so this page is where I'm going to start. I'm going to give you this example. I did copy this in your books, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the next page of notes. Okay, so I've been given this equation, y equals 3x squared, and you know that that's a parabola. And I'm going to try to figure out the slope of a tangent line at exactly x equals 4. Okay, so like I talked about, I'm basically having this idea. I'm taking two coordinates and the line that goes through those coordinates. And my goal is to try to move the second coordinate closer and closer and closer and closer. The goal is to make the distance between them 0. My goal is to make those two coordinates be a 0 distance apart from each other. And once I'm 0 distance apart from each other, it's going to turn into a tangent, and it's going to tell me the slope. Okay? Okay, do you remember, this has got to go all the way back to grade 10 here. Do you remember how to do the slope of a line? So do you remember that slope equals rise over run? Remember that? And then the rise is the change of the y heights. That's a rise. And the run is the change of the x heights. Okay? And remember, my goal is to try to make the run, my goal is to make the run go to 0, the distance between them. Okay. So this is going to be our starting x coordinate. And here's how I'm going to describe that x value. X plus a little amount. Okay? And my goal is to make that little amount 0. So x plus h amount. That's an h. Okay, and then there's the y1 and the y2. And then that's gonna be whatever the function is. So it'll be different on different problems, okay? Whatever our function is. Okay, so remember our goal is that we're trying to get this distance to be 0 so that our points are actually on top of each other and tangent. Okay, so here's my equation. Y equals 3x squared. Okay, so the first x is just x, and the second x is x plus something. The y1 is equal to whatever this is, so 3x squared. And the second y, okay, we just did this unit in pre-calc. This is what I'd have to input into that. Instead of inputting x, I'm inputting x plus something. Okay, does that make sense with, I guess, this visual, right? Okay, ready? So the slope formula, is, you don't need to write this if you don't want to. So this is just my slope formula. Okay, so ready to fill in? So the second y, subtract the first y, divided by the second x minus the first x. And here's the goal. I'm trying to say, what is this going to get to if I'm trying to make the distance between the points 0? As I'm trying to get the distance between them closer and closer and closer to 0, what's happening? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some algebra stuff now. So, do you know how to square that? Do you want me? I'm going to do it over here on the side, if that's okay with you. I'm going to go to the side. I'm just going to square that. Okay, ready? First times first is x squared. When I do the outside, I'm going to just leave it xh. That's what it is, xh. On the insides, I'm going to call that xh again, plus h squared. Okay, you ready? Are you okay when I'm putting it in here? I'm going to have to times it by 3. Does that make sense? Okay, so 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared. Okay, and then this is just because it was there, so minus 3x squared. All over, and the bottom is just an h. Right, because x subtract x. I had an x and then subtract an x. That was good. Okay, do we notice that I have a problem? I can't just plug h in, 0 in, right? That's going to create a 0 on the bottom. So, my strategy, I'm going to try to see if I can eliminate some kind of algebra issue. Okay, so 3x squareds, those could go away. Do you see something? Algebra, factoring, canceling maybe? Remember, those are usually my hints. Do you see something? What could I do with this top? I could GCF H. So 6x plus 3h. I got rid of my problem. Okay, now I'm ready. I can plug the h of 0 into this now because I got rid of the problem. So if I plug 0 in for h, what does this all come out to be? 6x. So the slope formula is 6x. Okay, that's the derivative. You just derive something. That's the derivative. Okay, so here's what I wanted to know though. Specifically at 4, what is the slope of this line? So what are you going to do? At x equals 4, the slope is 24. Does that make sense if I look at my parabola? Do you think you could, if I said what's the slope of that line at -1? If I had a -1 for the x, what tangent line slope would this be? the slope would be -6. Does that make sense on that line? Does it look visually? Oh, you guys are going to be really mad when I show you the shortcut. Should I do that today or another day? Another day. I'll make you suffer a little bit.